Okay, we are live, and me and Tushadi are here to discuss, obviously, about both the matches that happened today in the Women's 100 tournament. And absolutely, first in the first match, it was Manchester Originals' first win of this season. And who else? The captain herself, Beth Mooney, scored those important 70 runs. And I think me, Tushadi, and everyone of you also were discussing that maybe it will be difficult to see that Beth Mooney not scoring runs two consecutive games, and that only happened. So there was an excellent win, but obviously, what is common in both the games, I will say that both were thrillers and both were in the last deliveries because Manchester United also won by 2 runs, and obviously London Spirit won that second consecutive game, second consecutive win for the defending champions, and again only by 2 runs. So I think first double header of the season and two absolute thrillers for the fans. So, Tushari, how do you see overall the game? How the win? Obviously, first I will like to know about Beth Mooney's knock. 70 runs, I think from 45 deliveries. Yes, 70 from 45. And when your team scored only 139, so that is like 50% run only scored by your skipper.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the other batters, you can actually make a phone number out of their scores. There's a 15, 9, 5, 10, 1. It's almost like it's a phone number. But to be honest, it's nothing. mm, it's nothing surprising. If Beth Mooney had not scored, I genuinely have doubts. Probably if Mooney does not score in three consecutive matches, the next day she'll announce her retirement, something of that sort. They, she's that consistent, guys. I mean that. Don't start writing, oh, she didn't score in so many series. I'm just saying that she's super consistent. And you and I were speaking about it that the bulk of the runs, somehow, it is always the case that whichever team Mooney is part of, the bulk of the runs are scored by Mooney. Now, whether that's done by design or whether the other players are completely lost, in that, I don't know. But as far as you know, if you see Gujarat Giants, yes. If you see
Yes.
Gujarat Giants, there also the bulk of the runs in any game that the
Yes.
bulk of the runs is scored by Beth Mooney. You see them doing well. You see them winning those matches. I think it's the same thing with Manchester Originals, and it's same thing with the WBBL team that she's part of. So she has that kind of a role. She has played that, played that role for both the for the Australian side as well. And what a great day when when Aliza Healy also scores a 70, Beth Mooney also scores a 70. I think one should be extremely worried about the ODI World Cup coming up.
Yes, I think as you are not there, Trishadi, I think from the start of this 100, tournament, I have been saying that everything happening in this tournament, the ultimate focus is the upcoming World Cup. So all the focus,
Absolutely.
all the discussion regarding the players is regarding that World Cup, how they are going to that World Cup, how they are looking with the bat, with the ball, or maybe with their fitness also. So from that perspective, absolutely, today LSI scored those beautiful runs, and obviously now Beth
And
Mooney.
don't forget the fact that if you actually listen to, the Willow podcast where Aliza Healy has been obviously,
Hmm.
pretty active. And even there was another interview where she gave, you can kind of feel that probably and this is completely because of the physical part of things. This could well be Healy's last World Cup, or maybe, she might not play the ODIs and play the
Hmm.
T20Is. In that case, she might not remain the captain either. So you have to understand that hunger part as well. You want to be, you have replaced Meg Lanning as the captain, so you want to win a World Cup and kind of validate the selection of the Australian Cricket Board as well. Now go back to the Dubai World Cup that you were there
Yes.
covering, and Australia
Hmm.
wasn't even in the final. Forget about, in fact they were. In fact, Healy wasn't part of the knockout game, the
Semi-final.
semis,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They weren't even part of the. She wasn't even part of the semis, so she will be raring to go. Now she gets a 70. Beth Mooney gets a 70. Tomorrow, three, four others will get a 60, 70, and they're set.
Even Ellis Perry bowling and batting both. So she is looking
Yes.
fit also. So that's a huge positive also for Australia.
When
Okay,
has
but
Perry
but
not looked fit?
yes.
Ask all the people who ask anybody and everybody. Perry always looks like she can bowl two more,
Yes.
three more overs and she can bat for good 10, 20 overs.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is what on Beth Mooney. I think she was superb. But Trishadi, I think captain Bryce again scored important 24 runs, gave that good start to the team. But other batters, like when you have Amelia Kerr, when you have a Deandra Dottin, so we expect a little bit better from them when it comes to the batting department because then 2 games down, I think both of them failed to deliver.
Sorry, sorry guys. I repeat again. It's not like I'm tired. Just unwell on a lot of medications. That's why. Um, you know, Sneha, I was actually trying to think. Even WPL this year, Amelia Kerr with a bat wasn't very impressive. With a
Yes.
ball,
Point.
there's no doubt about that. But
Point.
with a bat, she wasn't very impressive. And I don't know, somehow she has carried that onto the 100. Is it the shorter format or is it number three that is not suiting her? That is something I'm. Because, see, in Mumbai Indians, she bats at a different order. Here, she bats at a different order. So maybe she's not 100% sure about her role because I do think I'm a little kind of disagreeing with Amelia Kerr at number three, maybe. Give her a little more leverage, get her down the order. Who can you promote? That's another thing that needs to be wondered. But I also think that if Deandra Dottin is not going to take her time and just hit the ball when you already
Okay.
have a set Beth Mooney, why not send her in and then finish with Amelia Kerr maybe?
Yes. I
Because I
think
do
that
think,
can be done.
if Deandra Dottin bats a longish partnership with Amelia Kerr, probably her perspective on the game will again change for good.
Yes.
Just going out there and hitting is not helping. 9 out of 7 balls, yes, you can say she has hit two boundaries, but just two boundaries. I mean, now go back to Manchester Originals winning by 2 runs. Those boundaries did not matter.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so that's the. But now, when it comes to Oval Invincibles, again, Meg Lanning
Uh,
back to 50s, 56 from 42. But again, Trishati, that rustiness, that strike rate issue, you scored 56, I can understand. But again, 56 of 42, uh, that innings putting pressure on the upcoming batters like Madison Cap or maybe Page, Alice Capsey, because the net run rate is getting heavier when the others batter are coming. Obviously, she's scoring 50s, but again, that strike rate is making some issue.
Yes and no, both. I think my why I said yes is I understand the strike rate concern, but then I'm saying no because if uh, Meg Lanning is going to play the role of a Beth Mooney, say for
Yes,
example that other batters are going to play
anchor.
around her,
Hmm.
yeah, then I'm going to take a 130 to 140 the strike
Point.
rate something in that,
Point.
and you end with
Hmm.
that. I'm happy with it.
Point. Yes,
But what cannot happen is then Winfield Hill cannot play at the same strike rate. One of them
exactly.
has to go at a higher strike rate because ultimately, then the entire run rate or the pressure of the run rate is coming on a Mariziner Cap, a Schofield, and then the rest of the batters. Like, for example,
Absolutely.
today it was a little frustrating.
Yes.
Yes, Capsy, of course. Now, the thing is, when you look at the 1, 2, 3, it's all the batters who are batting at 130 odd. And Marizane Cap is also not going to bat at 170. Automatically, you're putting on a lot of pressure. I think you have to throw in a person, somebody right at the top who is someone like a Shafali Verma. Maybe not won't work every single day, but the matches that she works, or even if she plays two boundaries, three boundaries, that quick edge, that quick start, because Meg Lanning will catch up. Meg Lanning will.
Yes.
You will always see the first 30 runs is where Meg Lanning is very very scratchy, and she's scratchy to the extent even you as a Meg Lanning fan will feel it's better not to see her struggle that much and just get out. But she's scoring, and I feel by the next match probably that 130 1 2 will go towards 140 odd. But on a consistent basis, Meg Lanning is not going to give you 160 70 strike rate. You need someone at the top. And then when you come to Capsy, Capsy is also not that kind of a batter who will give
Yes.
you 160 70 strike rate. Then number four is Marizane Cap. Again, same issue.
Against them.
I think you when you're coming to Schofield does score quickly. So I don't know if you can probably exchange Schofield and Alice Capsy or not.
Yes,
Again,
absolutely.
depending on the match situation. For example, today the opening partnership was 52 of 43. See,
Yes,
that's the problem. Lanning was 18 of 18. I get that. Lanning will play that. But Winfield Hill is also 33 of 25. Had this 33 come off 20 balls, the thing would have been completely different. Five more balls to spare, and Oval has one.
exactly, exactly. Yes, and that is the issue. I think in the shorter format, it has always been that pattern that one batter needs to excel at it, and the other will, anchor.
Because
And when
now, if you go to the, sorry to interrupt,
yes,
now go to the Cap Lanning partnership.
yes,
There,
yes,
it's 40 of 26, right?
yes,
Out of those 26 balls, Lanning played 12 balls and she scored 21. So she has
okay,
recovered from 18 of 80.
yes,
Whereas now Cap has come in and Cap is new. So Cap is 18 of 14.
well,
So each of the batters cannot be similar, similar in
hmm,
style.
yes, one needs to accelerate, and
Absolutely.
and
And that's
and,
why
and that will make the
India,
balance.
absolutely. And that's why India needs a Shafali Verma in T20 Ice.
Hmm. Yes,
Because
and
Smriti Mandana, Jemima Rodriguez will play in the same style. Smriti, yes, Smriti has developed some brilliant shots, have been playing quicker, everything given. You have to understand Smriti's role. Smriti's
okay,
role is not of the 30s or 40s. Smriti's role
the
is of the
anchor.
70s, 80s, 100s. And when you
Yes,
have to play 70s, 80s, 100s, you can't hit every ball out of the park. You have to play that longish innings and let the other batters play around you. Jemmy has the same role. So these players will need a little time to settle in. That is where Shafali working then completely shifts the match to your favor. And then a Harmanpreet comes in and Amanjot comes in and just changes that momentum. So I think this part is extremely important in every single team, which is where I do feel that Oval Invincibles is lagging and they should send Schofield above. I'm saying don't expect probably consistent performances from her, but at least some quick runs.
absolutely, and that same pattern that we're discussing, Trishadi, I think that works for DC in the WPL when Meg Lanning batting with Shefali Verma.
Absolutely. That's the point. That is why DC's opening partnership is so successful. Even in WPL, it's not like Meg Lanning is scoring at 200 every single,
Yes,
she might end up with a 160-70 strike rate because
yes,
in the end she has gone ballistic. But in the beginning, it's not that she starts that way. That is where I think Oval Invincibles has to look into the opening pair. I mean, but to be very fair to them, they can't change it because Winfield Hill is
yes.
their
The
captain.
options are not there. Options are very less, I would say.
Number one, options aren't there. Number two, Meg Lanning scoring 250s, you can't change her and you should not change her. And
Yes,
number two, yeah, players like Mithali or players like Meg Lanning, if they
yes,
are playing in T20s, they have to open the batting. Simple. But if that is happening and Winfield Hill is your captain, then you cannot change the batting order anyway. You can't drop her. कि अच्छा ठीक है कैप्टन
absolutely.
हो विकेट कीपर हो सब समझ में है बट यू गो आउट यू कैन डू दैट राइट
Yes, absolutely. But as we discussed, that obviously ultimately they fell short for only 2 runs and lost the match. I think Duenda Dottin ultimately conceded 34 runs in 20 balls, went wicketless, but she bowled brilliantly. I think in the last over. I think the
लास्ट
death over
ओवर
bowling she was brilliant because it was under pressure because she had to defend a very small amount of runs, but she did exceptionally well. And I think this role has been very suitable for her. I think in world cricket, for any franchise cricketer, or even for West Indies also, I think whenever she has been given to ball in the death over, she has been fantastic, especially with the wideish Yorkers. And today also we saw those slow full toss outside the leg stump or maybe off stumps, and especially the Yorker, and she has been.
given away 10 runs I was seen because I remember her getting hit for a 6. She has
Hmm.
still given away say 10 runs, but ultimately what happens is when you have given one dot ball, a golden dot
Yes.
ball, that's where and
Yes.
also you cannot repeatedly hit her for sixes because of that variation.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. Okay, now the focus shifts to the second match where the defending champion London Spirit won their second consecutive game. And a common factor is there in all three matches: Australia, A, London Spirit, and Manchester. In all three games, Aussies shine. Here also Charlie North, the Aussie all-rounder, I think brilliant.
Yeah.
Overall in both with the ball, both with the bat. Both. And I think another exciting prospect to Shadi for Australian cricket. I think all-round option can bowl
Yes,
spin
for
and only
Australian cricket,
22 year
yes,
old.
yes. For Australian cricket, for women's cricket in general, For other teams, it's just horrible and exhausting. How many all rounders are these guys gonna produce, man? Every single day they'll come and start producing all rounders. That's just merely unfair on mere humans and teams which cannot produce all rounders like that. Charlie not scores. I'm like, yeah, very good batter. Yeah, she has potential and all this. I'm thinking, in my head that maybe, just maybe in the coming tours in India A tours, we will start seeing her and all that.
Yes.
And then she comes out with the ball and she bowls like pretty well. She bowls, and the best part is she is not someone who is bowling very fast, because often when you are not subcontinent spinners, you end up bowling way too fast.
Yes.
That is something that I think she does not have, and if she does maintain this, adds a few variation and maybe tosses up the ball a little tiny bit more, gives it a little time to work in the air. um, we don't want this to happen, but yeah, good for Australian cricket.
Yes. We
See, I
cannot
think
help
this
it
is what
because they're good at it.
See, I think this is what happens when you start playing, and this is a conversation I was having with a cricketer itself, and both of us were discussing this, and we were saying they start from school level.
Yes.
We now start from under 15, 19, or whatever. But in our schools, in our culture, it's not there that you play cricket. And we went to this town. I don't remember which town it was, where they did not have a women's team. They in fact had, I think, three girls who were playing. And I said, how
Mhm.
do they practice? And they were like, why they practice with the guys? I was like, yes, but what about match? Because match preparation is extremely important. And
Important.
she nonchalantly said, I mean, they play in the guys' team. I was like, yeah, sure, my bad. So that's
Yes.
that's there, that's always there, that they are practicing. If you want to play cricket, you have a stage, even if you're coming from the smallest of towns. For us, for small town girls, your family has to do so much sacrifice to bring you to a city, then to get to a camp, then to the so by the time you're reaching the Indian team, probably you have already worked so hard that at times I feel the girls cannot be blamed for losing their kind of losing their mind and being satisfied with themselves. I think the biggest problem is once you get selected for India, it's a dream come true, and you have worked so hard. And in India, when you make a sports person, it is not about one person, it is about the whole house coming together, the family, the brother, the mother, the sister, everyone, and then a sports person is produced. And when that happens, you realize your Indian dream, you are already content about achieving your dream. That at times can come back and bite you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Trishadi, when it comes to Wales fat, because if you see only the target was 125, right? And you had in your batting lineup Sophia Dunkley, captain Tammy Beaumont, obviously Haley Matthews, Jace Jonathan, Sarah Bryce. So top five batters of the women's cricket you had in your team among top six batters. But still you couldn't manage to score 124. I think now two games in a row they didn't bat well. So that's a concern because you expect better show from them because you see the names. Hallie Matthews can win you games single-handedly. I am not expecting him to score every day 70, 80, but she could do better, a little bit better. And obviously, she can do better only if she gets support from other end. She is not getting the support that she would like to. What you want to talk about that?
No, but if it's about support, then she would have not won matches for West Indies. She never got the support in West Indies. So
Yes.
it's not like Haley Matthews is not used to doing it single handedly. And if you see the target, so Sophia Dunkley has scored a 36. So take
Yes.
that out of the score, you need 80
Yes.
more. And you're telling me Haley Matthews has not done it? Of course, she has done it over and over again for West
Yes.
Indies. West Indies. How many times have we discussed? I remember in our work group one day we had said it's Haley Matthews versus someone, and somebody actually got scared and we're like, where are the other 10 players? And we're like, no, but the match is like this. So I don't think it's a problem for Matthews, but I do think that um, she's playing a lot of dot balls. She's
Hmm.
probably that's a thing with players who want to hit hard. when they get stuck, they're completely stuck. So Matthews is getting completely stuck. And when you're, because there's something interesting I'll point out. So let's take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 balls,
Hmm.
she did not get any runs. And then she got a boundary, then two singles, then two boundaries. So overall, you know what? When you have started a target and started an innings with 7 dot balls, someone like Matthews, if Beth Mooney had started this or a Meg Lanning had started this, they wouldn't have been this bothered because they know I will carry the innings on for, 100 balls and I'll finish it. But with someone like Matthews, she needs to feel the ball on her bat immediately from the beginning. Any innings where she'll get the 1 out of the 3 balls, and I'm not saying this statistics wise, I'm roughly saying this on a very psychological theory of mine, that if she gets 1 out of the first 3 balls that she plays for a boundary, you will see a completely changed innings from Haley Matthews.
Hmm. So you were saying that getting an early boundary in her innings gives her that extra motivation or confidence that okay, today
Confidence, yes.
today I am within that rhythm and I can score those.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And Haley Matthews, if you go back and think over the years, the fantastic innings that we have seen has been more about the days where she feels the bat on the ball very easily. She plays like, just out of muscle memory, and she goes tuck 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 tuck. So that is where I do think that if 1 out of the first 3 balls goes to a boundary, or she at least gets them in her range, and she can
Mhm.
maybe tuck it for a 2 or 3, whatever. I mean, a good shot, and not just a defend or a leave,
Right.
or a good shot played to a fielder straight away for no runs. It has to go for some runs for her to, feel okay, it's my day. And when she starts feeling that, she suddenly, as a batter, goes 2 notches up.
Right.
I can probably not directly give you any stats saying that, but it's an observation for over the years that this thought
Hmm.
process comes with.
Yes. Okay. Okay. There are so lot of comments, so we'll take those. But
Let's
before
take it.
moving, I think yes, before we have talked about all the things, but I think we have to talk about obviously Grace Harris. I think the way she bowled those last 5 deliveries, she can do everything. I think she doesn't feel any pressure. What pressure? I think there is a meme that what pressure. I think that meme is perfectly for her. That what pressure? You give me ball, you need to defend these runs. Give me the ball, I will do it for you. And she did it with gracefully. And she's a fantastic
I'll
cricketer.
tell you what, Grace Harris does everything so well because
Mm.
she does not take herself or anything else seriously.
She
You
enjoys
can
the moment.
feel, yeah. What is your favorite food? Which player will go and tell you? A current player, a former player can tell you, yeah, I like to have this or that, because you've left cricket. You don't need to
Yes.
be that ultra fit, right?
Yes.
You are asking a current player who is not even a permanent in the Australian side, what is your favorite food? Oh, I love having burger. She just does not take anything seriously. Your bat is broken. You need one immediately. Nah, I'll hit a six with it.
And she hit that. And
Yes,
she hit
yes,
that thing.
of course, because she is having fun. When you're having fun, you will see. I mean, for example, with us also, we keep
Yes.
talking about this, that women's cricket shows don't really feel like work, but this is actually
Yes.
work. But we don't feel like work because we are having fun. We are having a go at each other. We are just laughing, and we are probably having go at the right and the wrong persons as well. So automatically, I feel that when you're doing something which is fun, it just puts less pressure on you. And that is why I do think that Grace Harris is an absolute asset in every side, especially franchisee sides. I'm not 100% sure that in that Australian side, how can you fit someone like her? Because you will get better batters than Grace Harris, you will get better bowlers than Grace Harris. So
Mm.
how do you fit someone like her in? But of course, in franchisee teams, she would be excellent. I'm actually quite um disappointed that she has not been more impactful, you know for someone like for a team like UP Warriors. But with
Yes.
Abhishek Nair coming in, I see a lot of hope. You probably would see some dangerous, batting from Grace Harris.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we will now look to the comment. Before that, I want to ask you one question, Trishadi. I think someone asked me, I think in previous, I mean, 2 days back or maybe say in this live show, that despite having so many talented cricketers, maybe English cricketer also, why these 100 teams have so many Australian cricketers as their captain? Because if you see Beth Mooney, Ashley Gardner, Ellis Perry, in answer I said that okay, maybe Australian cricketers are most well known to handle the pressure very well, other you know than other players because they used to play those kind of matches under pressure, like semi-final of the World Cup, final of the World Cup.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so what do you think? I think this might be the reason. That is why because in a
yeah.
team where Nat Shiva Brant is there, your England captain, but she is not your captain. Ashley Gardner is captain in the team.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The moment you talk about Australians, you can remember the number of World Cups they have played. That comes to your
Mhm.
mind. The number of World Cups they have won. I mean, that
Yes.
way you then have that belief that come that pressure, come that critical moment, Australians will be absolutely cold blooded and be professional and get the work done. Whereas we have seen more human sides of English players. They do get bogged down. They do get bothered. They do mess up when there's pressure. So I think that's one of the bigger pictures of this.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why even WPL initially had a lot of
Mm.
Australian captains.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's start with the comments. So many comments. Okay, Swish asking in T20s or the 100, when can we say that a batter has faced enough balls to understand the pitch and start attempting for big shots?
Um, Depends on which number they're coming in. If
Mm.
you're talking about openers, then I would say give them 5 to 6 deliveries in T20s. Um, in 100, it's a very difficult game. Maybe in T20s, give them 7 8 balls. In hundreds, 5 to 6 balls. But of course, if you are coming in at 4 5, anything after the 15th over, you don't have any ball. Just go from ball one.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Shirish again asking, to be honest, I don't really feel very optimistic about India's chances at the World Cup. I hope the team proves me wrong. Why, Shirish? It's a home World Cup. Be
No,
optimistic.
but why? What exactly happened that you're not very optimistic? Shirish has written.
I think India A's performance today I think had sent some shock waves
No,
to
but India A, how many players of India A are going to play in the Indian team?
exactly, exactly.
No, I don't think that. If it's Shirish, then I don't think that Shirish is saying this because of India A
India
performance.
A, yeah. Okay, okay, let's see. The next comment again from Shrish. By the way, why did Tanuja convert bat before Mindu Mani and Sajana in the India A match? Some of Radha's tactics are baffling. Yes. That is what Trishadi was in shock
Who
in the
made
pre-match
Radha the
show.
captain? That's my first question. Secondly, okay, if she's the captain, fair enough. So that's what happened, Shirish. I don't know if you were seeing the pre-show. I was discussing the pre-show. I saw the third wicket go, and I looked up and I was like, "Who's coming out to bat? Will it be Minu Mani or will it be?" And all these are going in my head, and I'm like, "It's written Conver 0 of 0." I was like, "Who Conver? Tanuja Conver? What for?" In fact, I would have been still okay with Radha Yadav coming before Tanuja Kanwar. I have no idea why Tanuja Kanwar came in, but well,
Okay. Okay,
just
Shrishi
a
again
question.
saying, I think Capsi needs to be more aggressive to give the team the push in the middle order.
I don't mind. I mean, this is something that Snehashish. I'm not 100% sure if Capsi is also sure of her role, because if Lanning is the anchor and if players are going to play around Lanning, when she is out there, then Capsi doesn't need to play the anchor role. She has to take charge. But somehow that has not been happening. I hope Oval Invincibles management goes and speaks to her and maybe gives her more clarity about her role.
Yes, absolutely. Again, Fish, exactly Trishadi, Oval Invincible need batters with complementary batting tempos. Is that is their bottleneck.
Correct. Exactly what I was telling.
Exactly. And again, last comment from Fish only. Redmond's run out of Jace Jonathan won them the match. It was an important moment of the
True,
match.
true. But again, it's a two-run win. I mean, it cannot just be Jess Jonathan. Is my point.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, there is one comment, but that is not related to women's cricket or the 100. It's from Syed Nizamuddin. Two-tier system has been rejected by Cricket Australia and DCB. Is it
Yeah.
true? Is it true that they have rejected? I have no
Australia,
idea. I have not seen because some
England,
reports
I've
I
heard.
have saw. Yes.
England, I've heard. Yeah.
Hmm.
BCB,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. I
BCB
think
is
it's a
understandable.
debatable thing.
See,
I think it will take a long time before
yeah,
making a
I mean,
final decision.
think of this BCB, right? So Bangladesh Cricket Board, is it?
No, they are rejected by Cricket Australia and England Cricket Board (ECB).
No, I don't think Cricket Australia rejected it. ECB
Yeah, I
rejected
also
it.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, and
because
understandable. The kind of
I think
the kind
Cricket Australia, ECB, maybe South Africa and India. I think they will love it. They will take it. I think.
ECB wouldn't know because England Test side is not that good right now. To
Yeah,
be honest,
that is also right.
where are the
Yes,
bowlers? Where are the
yeah, that is
bowlers?
point.
Again,
Even in Australia, in the Ashes, I
get
think if
better
it
batters.
yes, if there is no Mark Wood or maybe a fit Jofra Archer, in Australia they are going to struggle. A 5-0, I will not be surprised. Glenn McGrath already suggested that it is going to be 5-0. But
Yeah, I mean, you need ultimately look. The series worked in your favor, and you have got 2-2, so both the sides are pretty happy with their this thing. But none of the sides could take 20 wickets like easily. I mean, Siraj did a phenomenal job in the last test, but maybe we also needed a wicket taking bowler, and they needed 3-4 wicket taking bowlers. Who was their wicket taking bowler? Chris Wokes, useless to be honest.
yeah,
Josh Tung produces three good balls out of
Adam
30
Cast.
bogus balls. Bryden
Okay.
Cars, average bowler. You know.
Hmm.
Then
Yes.
Stokes, I think, took a lot of credit.
Yeah. He
Sorry,
was the best
Stokes
bowler,
took a
no
lot of
doubt.
load.
He was the
Yeah,
best bowler.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. Sanjit Sarkar again pointing out that the same point that he points out in the pre-match show about the Bangladesh cricket that going in international cricket when Bangladesh women stalwarts like Rumana, Jyoti, like right there is a difference between men and women cricket. It is sad state when other countries are progressing. See, I think for BCB it has been a problem. I think in both men's and women's cricket. I think there has been some problem. We can just hope that this problem sort out as quickly as possible and everything
Yeah, I mean,
become
at one point, Snehashish, we used to speak about the Bangladesh men's teams, rise, and we would say, oh, you know what, the Bangladesh men's team has done so well. The Bangladesh women's team here and there, in sporadic patches, has done
yes,
well. But until and unless your board backs you, until and unless your board is strong enough to keep backing you, keep pushing you, keep helping you out, probably with finances, more tours, or whatever the teams need, it's not possible for the players on their own to reach anywhere. So I do think that it will take more time for Bangladesh to go anywhere, especially till probably the administration goes through an overhaul. Could be mindset overhaul, could be human overhaul, could be anything, but they do need that change.
absolutely. Okay, last two comments. Swiss asking, will Bangalore to host the World Cup matches due to safety issues of the stampede? See, I think right now it is still unknown, but highly unlikely. I think the
You think
way
Bangalore will not host?
I don't think so because this recently that what is that Maharaja Trophy? It has been shifted from Bengaluru from Mysore because all the matches were scheduled to take place in Chinnaswamy only, and every year that happens only in the Maharaja Trophy. So I think when I don't know, I think they will try their best because as a city, I think Bengaluru will not want that a World Cup is going away from them. I know what happened; it was very horrible, but at least as a city, I think Bengaluru will want to keep that opportunity. Okay, we are going to host that.
Yeah, I do think, Snehaji, that there are more forces at work than you and I probably would want to talk about. And I don't know if shifting a women's World Cup is what they have in mind. I do think the concentration is more on men's matches and men's, men's
Yeah,
World Cup.
okay.
I wouldn't say,
Mhm,
but more on
mhm.
men's matches because that catches the eyeball more than a women's
Yes.
World Cup. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate, but
that
it's
might
true.
be a fact.
So making a statement, shifting men's matches is what I do think is more the probability of
Understandable.
what's
Yes,
happening, of the
that's a fact.
situation. Don't think that women's World Cup will be shifted. I don't know, gut feeling that it won't be shifted.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, last comment from Sanjit Sarkar. Sanjit Sarkar also asked the same question regarding Bangalore. Yes, absolutely. I think the state government has to give the permission. So let's see
Yeah.
whether that happens or not. The last comment that Sanjit Sarkar himself said that do all teams preview and preparation before Uday World Cup. Absolutely. We will build up to that tournament.
Oh,
There
we
is
will
no
do.
doubt about it.
He's asking the teams to do a preview and preparation. I'm like, yeah, they will.
We will definitely do. I can remember that before the T20 World Cup also we did all the teams. And I told that
We had
Australia is a podium
confidently
finish.
said, we had confidently said that Sri Lanka kuch karega is World Cup.
Yes, and we didn't rank New Zealand at all because they were coming after so
Yeah.
many bad.
Out of 15 matches, New Zealand had won one match in that entire year. So Snehashish and I were like, अब
इस बार तो नहीं होगा.
श्रीलंका कुछ करेगा, इस बार तो पक्का करेगा. श्रीलंका ने किया और श्रीलंका निकल गए. बोले बाय बाय.
Yes, that is the point. But obviously, we will build up to the tournament because the ultimate, as I told, the main focus that tournament. We have some plans. Hopefully, we can execute those plans, and I can guarantee you that you guys will love it if we finally can execute those plans. So that's it. Thank
Yes,
you, Trikati,
for
for
sure.
joining in. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you everyone for joining in for the comments. So it was the first double-headed day. Manchester Originals have started to win their first win in the bank. Obviously, for London Spirit, two back-to-back wins, so they are looking favorites at least again for the eliminator at least as of now. So that is, but for other two teams, I think it is high time to make us come back in the next game only because otherwise it will be difficult for them to make a comeback. Again tomorrow, I think it's a double-headed day if I'm not wrong. So again tomorrow we'll come back just like the last like today.
Afternoon, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. After for the pre-match, we'll come around 3 p.m. to discuss both the matches, and then again after two matches, we'll come back for the post-match show. So for thank you for joining in. Till then, take care and good night.